everyone.
Uh,
Prince.
oh,
Yeah,
go
you.
ahead.
No, you got Prince.
A couple of thoughts
Hmm.
here. I would still say one of the things that we have to keep in mind is the Japanese side basically is already done with episode 6 and basically the
Hmm.
entire PSO story.
Yeah.
So the team can't wait that long to give them something. So I'm thinking at the very least, maybe Q1, Q2, we'll see like an alpha beta for them.
Oh, that would be nice.
And then something maybe Q3, Q4 for actual launch. Um, that's kind of what I'm thinking in terms of timing. But a couple of other things I did want to talk about
Yep.
before
Go
we
ahead.
wrapped here. One thing is we kind of caught Sega in a bit of a lie here, although it's possible it's not really a lie since the game technically hasn't even released yet,
Yeah.
and that's the fact that Masetta is in the game.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know
they did say
if
it's not transferring.
yeah, but there is Masetta at the same time. If we go to like where that boss got killed
Hmm.
and you look on the left side where it said what the rewards were, you can see Masetta in that list. It's like 100 Masetta that the player earned there. So once again, that's going to go down to kind of the question of okay, what items are actually going to transfer over? Like, can you
Hmm.
just bring like a bunch of old costumes from PSO2
Sell
into
them.
New Genesis and sell them on the New Genesis player shop to make yourself Meseta or something like that?
Yeah, that I mean, if it's sellable, obviously their concern was like breaking the economy, and if you all of a sudden you're like, hey, obviously you get less for it at the start, but to be able to do that, earn something in the old game and just sell it in the new game, well, yeah, then the question would be is like, well, why not just bring it over? I think maybe, and if that it does happen, if that does break the game, maybe it's a temporary hold. We talk about that where it's like, hey, we wanted the economy to kind of somewhat get established so that all of a sudden people who aren't playing the current game just grind out an insane amount of money and people come into this game and can't afford anything. It's like, okay, wait a minute, we want to give everybody the opportunity to start off on a fresh foot, but I don't know. It's a tough call. Like the fact that Star Gems and AC, the premium currency, they say anything about fun points? Somebody asked me about that, and I was like, I don't think they talked about fun points transferring.
I don't
Remember
believe
them?
they said anything like that. I mean, fun points are so easy to get in the current version of the game, though, that it's kind of a wasted thing to bring it over in the first place. I think.
Yeah, I think essentially Star Gems and AC is the makes the most sense. The fact that Meseta is here, like that, just makes sense. That's the in-game currency that should drop from enemies. But I just feel like they're making the right call with not letting that transfer. Otherwise, like at some point, like you just say, if everything's transferable, why isn't everything transferable? Like there is a
Yeah,
line in the sand. It's like, all right, let's just go. Yeah, he just defeated the guy. It's like, okay, give me my money, give me my
Yeah.
loot. Um, it is
Sandor
interesting.
saying that that Sega said no fun allowed.
No fun. Get that fun
No
out of
fun.
here. I'm gonna rewind a
Uh,
little bit.
I don't think they would do anything with fun in NGS, honestly. Especially with you just going out into the open world. It's not like how in PSO2 you can take other characters with you.
Yeah.
I can't just walk up to a terminal and say, "Hey, I'm going to take Brian's character with me for this mission." Like I'm not seeing anything like that.
Yeah.
So I don't think fun would actually be
I
a
wouldn't mind.
currency
I wouldn't
anymore.
mind friend levels. I think one of the things I really enjoyed about Gears 5 is that as you play with your friends, you have like a friend level that levels up.
Mm.
I love all those different things. So just give me more XP bars to fill, and I'll be happy. A very happy camper enjoying this game. And one last question, Cooney Vex asks, "Am I going to be streaming Genshin Impact in a few hours?" I might be. If I'm not streaming it here in a few hours, I will be doing that bright and early tomorrow morning. I hope to, but I also have been gone all weekend, so I'm gonna make sure the family is all like tucked into bed and everybody's happy. And if that's the case, yeah, you'll be able to catch me live probably here in a couple hours with GI. I might tweet it out, so follow us on Twitter at Work to Game or DelMoneyB if interested for that. Guys, be sure to follow Prince Brightstar, fantastic content creator. I really appreciate him making availability. Prince, is there anything that you didn't get to share before we wrap up the podcast?
One last thing I did want to cover here, and this kind of caught my eye the most, or I guess my ears actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that they're actually bringing Sega of America into all this now here.
Yeah, it's actually really important, especially with a global release. It gives me hope as a player that I'm not going to be waiting 8 years and talking about it on a podcast. It's like, will they ever bring it?
Yeah, I mean, right now they're just using a team. I'm not sure where they're out of, but they're just using. I guess they're just using sort of like a temporary community team, and I guess they're going to hand things off to actual Sega of America once New Genesis launches, or maybe they'll keep them separate for the 2 versions of the game. We really don't know at this point, but that really caught my ear in the fact that especially with how bad of a reception Sega of America has. Considering what happened with Phantasy Star Universe and the fact that those servers closed so early on compared to the Japanese side. So, granted, at the same time, a good portion of that was because the Japanese side wasn't sending things over as frequently as they needed to be. So, we'll see how things play out with that, I guess.
Absolutely. And we have a question.
San Diego.
Go ahead.
I was going to say San Diego Burrito is asking. Is now a good time to start before New Genesis, or should I just wait? I'd say just if you start now, like you can build up your AC and your SG and everything like that, just so you have it for New Genesis, and you can also go in and get a feel for PSO2 and the not the lore, but just the I can't think of the word right now.
You're good.
Crap.
I would say that it's a good time to start. I wouldn't plan this as your kind of a no lifing game at the moment. Personally, when they started talking about New Genesis, it gave me permission to go and just like enjoy this game and enjoy others. So while I am playing, I am basically playing for Star Gems. Like that's kind of like, oh, there's a Star Gem event. I'll log in and do that PvP and just knock out some Star Gems and have some fun with it. So it's about that. Like I would recommend giving a taste. If for some reason it isn't your flavor of game, I wouldn't say no to New Genesis because maybe the current version might not be something for you. However, if you enjoy the new version, I would venture to bet that you're going to even be more excited for New Genesis. But the choice is up to you. It's free, so if you have basically the question is, do you have time to sit down and enjoy a new game right now? And if the answer is yes, then by all means, dive in and have some fun. If you're like, oh man, I'm trying to get this other stuff finished in Destiny before Beyond Light, or I'm trying to do this in Final Fantasy, or like if you got a lot of other stuff going on, note that it's okay. You can pop in, pop out. You don't have to sit here and make a big financial investment right now into the game itself. And I think that's one of the best things about how it's monetized. And I hope that New Genesis has a little bit better monetization model, which we covered earlier in the podcast. Now, guys, again, like I said, be sure to follow Prince Brightstar and Soro. Their links will be in the description of this. This video will be going up on Ginger Gaming Radio. If you're not following over there, we would love the subs. We're coming up on our 1K goal, but only sub if you like video games. That's pretty much the caveat. If you don't like video games and you have no interest in actually checking out our content, then by all means, please don't sub. I don't need pity subs. I want people who are actively engaged in the community. And I do appreciate you guys all hanging out here on this, random podcast that we just decided to throw up on Twitch. Chat, you guys have been phenomenal. Everybody here has been fantastic. I really love you and love all your faces. I am stalling for time as I find the podcast. There we go. Guys, this has been episode 14 for PSO Radio. My name is Brian. This is Soro and Prince Brightstar. We really appreciate you joining us, and we hope that you have a fantastic day. But until next time, take care.